Daily Broadside, day 756. I'm on my way to go see Guar in Raleigh this evening at the Ritz. I have VIP seats just in case you're wondering, because I'm not getting all that fake blood, sputum, and other fluids all over me. I've seen the destruction they cause to a show, to a venue, I should say. But nevertheless, I've been a casual fan since high school, so this should be interesting. I think in the annals of history, I think when we talk about great things that have been created, Joseph Lister's medical brilliance, the cotton gin, the telephone, the light bulb, all that, I think we're leaving out the value of a crock pot, okay? A crock pot is one of the best things that a person can own. If you don't own a crock pot right now, stop listening to the stupidity that's coming out of my face hole and go get your ass a crock pot. In fact, I think I got an 8-quart. Like, I got one of the biggest ones, because you can, like, double up orders, have stuff. Because last thing you want, let me tell you something. Pro tip, you don't want, like, a 3 or 4 quart, and then you make an order of something that is way more than that because you completely ignore how many quarts of food you're making, and it starts overflowing and what. That's not good. That's not good. Because, yeah, you can scoop it out with a ladle if you see it happening. But if you don't, it can make it kind of like screw up the whole recipe and whatnot. So don't be doing all that. Get you the biggest one that you can afford. If they make a 27-quart one that takes 2 people and it's got wheels and a dolly to get it into the kitchen, that's what you buy, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what, I made some chicken corn dip last night that it just rolled everything off the table and just moved into my top 5 food spots. Like, I don't know what it knocked off yet, but it was crazy. It's crazy. Insane. In fact, I've never made anything bad in a crock pot, and I'm not something 5-star chef, believe me. I just like throwing stuff together and being creative with it, but it always comes out remarkably well. So whoever created the crock pot, probably like Jimmy Crock, it's probably like James T. Crock or something back in like the 20s or something. I'll research that later. I'll get back to you. But whoever created it, Mr. Crock needs a statue somewhere in bronze, and it needs to look better than Dwayne Wade's statue, like a real one, right? Looks like the guy. By the way, I had a girl message me last night and told me I need to stop flipping my hair behind my ears and just let it be. Listen, this is just what it is, okay? I just don't like it in my face, but here we are. So now I'm just going to put it behind my ear just to annoy her. So, touche. Anyway, back to the crock pot. James T. Crock, brilliant man. I don't know what he was doing in his kitchen. And hey, let me back up for a second. It could be Nancy T. Crock. I don't know who made it. I'm not just saying a guy came up with it. It could be a woman. That's fine. But Nancy or Jimmy, they were in their kitchen one day and they were like, you know what I'm tired of doing? I'm tired of standing in here watching stuff cook and being like a shepherd over my flock. I just need to dump in some ingredients into my pot and just let it take over, right? And then they said, wait a minute. Whoa. Hold your horses, biatch. I got a great idea. And I'll call it a crock pot. Why? Because if my name ain't Jimmy/Nancy T. Pot. So that's what we're going with. And hooray to them. Yeah, I don't know where that's going, but, whatever. And I'll say one more thing. I was getting fuel in my Corvette the other day, and the vehicle that I am currently sitting in, and I pulled up to the pump, and there's this lifted Jeep Wrangler, and this girl's in it, and as soon as I get out, she opens her door. She's got like a line of ducks across her dashboard, so I've already written her off as a viable, fellow human, because she's into the duck world, the fantasy world of duck collection. But at any rate, she says, oh, what year is it? And I was like, oh, a Corvette fan. I'll play. And I said, it's an 02 Z06. And she's like, ooh, and is it a V8 or a V6? And I was like, there's never been a V6 Corvette. In 1953, when they came out, there was a straight 6 Blue Flame 6 that had an anemic, 87 horsepower or something ridiculous. I said, but this has been a V8 car forever. And then she tells me how she's got a V6 Mustang and she wants to get a Corvette. And I'm like, well, don't get a V6 one. But I had so much promise for that conversation. The fact that somebody would want to know what year it is means they're a little bit more than just a passerby. But anyway, and I'll say this about the cars with anemic engines. The first Model T had like 19 or 20 horsepower. which, 1 horsepower is equal to like what 1 horse can pull in an hour's time, or so. I don't know what it is. It's some formula. It actually has to do with horses, like the Clydesdale, the working class, I guess, whatever those are called. That's right. I'm messing with my hair. And so I wonder if, like, when they came up with that engine and they put it in, where they're like, man, which dyno? This thing's got 20 horsepower, and they're like, 20 horsepower? No, because that would be like an insane amount of horsepower back then, because tractors had like 8 horsepower. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been a pretty powerful thing, right? And so why didn't someone else on that like design team go, 20 horsepower? Those are rookie numbers. We need to pump those numbers up and be like, let's go for 67 horsepower. Like, you could have made like displacement. There is no replacement for displacement. I just don't understand how we as Americans were settling for 20 horsepower back in the day. Nevertheless, I am so sick of you. That's a reference to Gwar. And so I'm off to see the Wizard, the mighty Wizard of Oz, or the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Anyway, I'm headed out to the Gwar show. If I come back and this shirt is ruined, I'm going to be pissed. But VIP should keep me far enough back, and the whiskey will keep me true. Giddy.